What you're about to watch is a special private training session for people who bought a copy of my book, Built to Serve. Enjoy. Welcome aboard, guys. Good to have everybody back.
Thank you.
Today's topic was interesting. It was giving yourself permission to live out your purpose. Man, it took me a long time to get comfortable with being upfront, with being the guy, being in front. I used to always feel like it was an ego trip, that I didn't have to be famous. I had no need to be famous. I fought with my agent for years on it. And it wasn't until I really realized that sharing my story was actually selfless, that people could see themselves in me. If they don't know your story, they won't listen to your advice. You know, you look at Evan there, the other Evan, not this Evan. We got Evans back to back, but Evan looks like he's got it all together. He's all figured out. He's got this nice shirt on and the pictures behind him. And he looks like he's got it all figured out. And imagine if the guy who you see in front of you is making videos about how to get out of alcohol addiction. You're like, yeah, but you don't understand me, dude. Look at you. You've got this fancy life. You've got it all figured out. Meanwhile, he knows, he knows exactly what it's like. And so until you share your story, Evan sharing his story, me sharing my story, you guys sharing your story, it's not about you. It's not about people just praising you for what you've come through. It's about other people being able to see themselves in you. That people won't listen to me as much for getting out of alcoholism because I didn't struggle with that. That wasn't something that I had a challenge with. But Evan Tinsman, he did. And so if you didn't know that about him, you wouldn't want to listen to him. They got another guy telling me what to do. He doesn't get it. So that's why it's super important that you share your story and give yourself permission to share the story. That if you guys can pick that up quickly, that's amazing, because that literally took years for me to figure out. Years of fighting, years of pushing by people close to me, like my agent, who's like just frustration on his part, I'm sure, to slowly convince me. And it wasn't until I realized that, hey, sharing my story is actually serving. And we go through it in Built to Serve as well. There's sections on that, but yeah, giving yourself the permission to do it is super valuable. And anyway, I hope that meant something to you. I hope that helped you. Anyway, the point of these sessions is, yes, kind of lead with a quick thought like that, but I want to be able to help you guys out. We've turned it into little mini live coaching sessions. Whatever you're struggling with, however I can help, get your movement off the ground. Let's open it up. What do you guys, what's going on? How can I be of value? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right, let's go.
I'll go first. So I know that when you first started, you did all the promoting and content for your videos and, for your stuff. At what point did you hire somebody? And now when you hire somebody, what exactly do you have them to do? Like if I were to hire somebody to do my content, do they actually create the content, not the videos, but the content and edit? That's my question. Two questions.
The first person I ever hired in my business, this wasn't my business, right? The first person I ever hired was to do data entry for me, because I hated data entry and he was actually much better at it than I was. And so he took 2 hours off of my table and he gifted that to me, and I paid him, and it only took him an hour because he was faster and better at it than I was. On the YouTube side of things, the first hire was an editor, part-time. And this really comes down to, like, what do you want to be great at? So there's no right or wrong answer. It's a right or wrong answer for you. I did not want to be great at editing. At the very beginning of things, I like messing around with stuff. I like playing around. I like seeing the ins and outs of it. And so I quickly picked up Movie Maker, which is probably the most basic video editing software that you can use. So I picked that up, got used to it, but then quickly realized that I don't like this. I'm not good at it, and I don't like it. I wasn't good in front of the camera either, Belinda. I mean, if you watch my videos, I watch it back. It's like, I'm not good at that either, but I like it. I want to get better at it. I want to improve. Video editing, I didn't like it, and I didn't want to get better, and I didn't want to improve. So I knew that would always be a limitation for me, that I would force myself to do it if I had to, but as soon as I could get that off my plate, then I would. So the hiring a part-time editor was my first hire. And I think a lot of you don't have to hire full-time. You don't have to just go out and hire somebody full-time to help you. You can hire somebody part-time, project work, a couple hours a day or even a couple hours a week, depending on what you're doing. So it's really figuring out what do you hate the most that has to get done, and then working on that. So for me, it was editing. Now when I hire, it really just depends on what the need is, right? We've got 30 something people on the team. So, if I'm hiring somebody just to be in charge of my LinkedIn content, that may not be the best strategy for you for where you're at right now. But if anybody's trying to be in front of the camera and that's where your genius is, then editing becomes the fastest one. So it's editing, part-time editor to then full-time editor to then he got kidnapped. So I had to get another editor. That was a crazy story. He just disappeared for 3 or 4 months. This guy was super reliable, always on time, and then like just dropped off the face of the map. And then he came back like 3 or 4 months later and said, "Sorry, Evan, I got kidnapped."
Okay.
It's crazy, right? I need some personal time. I mean, I'm home now. I'm safe. I was held for ransom. Just crazy. But in that period, like, where is he? I'm sending messages back and forth. Nothing happened. And then I found Christina, my current editor now, who's been with me for I don't know how many years, many years. And then we hired her husband. Then I hired a researcher so that we can, again, like slowly niching down. What do I want to be great at? I love doing the research on the videos, but I love being in front of the camera more and spreading the message more. So then I hired somebody to help me do the research. So you slowly take away the pieces of what you don't like doing or don't want to be the world's greatest at, so you can focus on what you could be. Does that make sense? All right.
Thank you.
All right. Good.
Actually, question myself.
Fonda, why? Dude, I didn't even recognize you with that hat on. Fonda, white in the house. I love it, dude. That smile. What do you got, man?
But I was just wondering about YouTube. And I know you always said, create content every day. But I'm actually, my YouTube channel and my videos, I'm actually doing the editing and everything myself. So it's not difficult to do it every day. But I guess there's ways to, do it every day when you're doing everything,
Don't edit.
Yeah.
No, so like for your ambitions, like Fonda wants to be a speaker. So the skill, so if you're making a video, how long does it take you to, a typical video, how long does it take you to record it versus edit it and do all the other stuff with it?
Record it, not so long, but editing probably about 30, 40 minutes.
And how long to record it?
I do little clips. So each clip is about, my videos are no longer than 6-7 minutes.
So if you're spending more time editing than recording, you're spending all your time training the wrong skill.
Right.
You want to be spending more time speaking. You're trying to train yourself to be a great speaker. This is, just imagine every time you pull out your phone or whatever you're using to record that you're on some stage. That's the skill you need to develop. So if I'm you, I would do 0 editing.
Okay.
To train yourself that from the second you press record, that it's like you're on stage. Because when you're on stage, you don't get editing. There's no editing.
Yeah.
So it's a good skill to practice. Like if you only train yourself that I can only be a good speaker and deliver a message when it's been cut up and edited, you're never going to be great on stage.
Right.
So treat every video like a stage work. Whether you're in your room there, whether you're walking outside, whatever. I still make videos from my phone in my car for my channels. Nina's going to Costco. Great. Film. Start recording. Rise and shine. It's Espresso time. Let's go. 0 editing.
Okay.
Because what's going to get you to the point where you can then hire an editor? It's not going to be you producing a video every couple days with your kind of crappy editing. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to insult you. Just
no, I get it.
Be honest, right? Like you don't want to be a great editor. So the thing that will get you to the spot where you can hire an editor is the speaking, because that's what you want to be great at.
Right.
So if you're anybody here who wants to be a speaker, you need to be putting up daily videos practicing you speaking. Erasmo's got his hand up and a thumbs up. Like every day I need to see you speaking, because you'll get discovered through those videos that then you get paid to go do speaking gigs. That then you use that money to hire a team to now help you edit the videos so that they're crisper. But no editing is going to save you if your speaking sucks.
Right.
And if your speaking is fire, it doesn't matter what kind of editing is on it.
Right. Yeah.
Like nobody's tuning out because, oh my God, this guy doesn't have lower thirds on his video. Are you kidding me?
Right.
If I'm out. Right.
Yeah.
It's like, can you speak to their soul? That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So 0 editing. I've just given you more than double your time now to actually go and make videos.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Cool, man.
Hi, Ivan. This is iPhone here. Sorry, I'm not camera ready.
It's iPhone. Welcome, iPhone.
I'm your fan. So I'm an international nurse, and I would like to write a book to write my stories. To what extent I should review my stories and the other technical part of my nursing experience? What is the perfect balance and mix to relate with my audience? So
if you go through the thought leadership template in here, you'll see that story is super important. It's not the whole thing. Like it shouldn't be half your story if you're not writing a biography, but the story has to be at the beginning as a setup. Because before they're willing, and this is for, Fonda making videos, all of you, if you're making any kind of content, I have to know your story and where you come from before I'm willing to listen to your advice. So you might be able to say, hey, here's how you do X, Y, Z, which is what all of us just want to teach. That's in our hearts. Like you want to teach, you want to help, you have knowledge that can serve people. You just want to tell them 1, 2, 3, go do it. The problem is people don't do it. They don't do it because you didn't connect with them emotionally first. They have to know that you understand them, because when you give the advice, they just say, okay, easy for that person. Easy for you to say, you don't understand me, right? Back to the very top when I was talking about Evan Tinsman. So the beginning is the story so that I know who you are, where you come from, that you're exactly like me, and then you achieved. And then the rest is going to be the tips, the advice, the tactics, the strategies of how to actually win.
Okay.
Daniel's putting on a new hat. Hustle first. All right. Hustle or hustla? What does that say? Hustle first. All right. I got it.
Yeah. Evan, just in following with that idea, would you suggest putting your stories out on a series of YouTube things, like if they were 2 to 4 minutes long, putting your content into a story over 2 or 3 videos, or do it all at once?
If you have a sequence that you're going to put out in an email, for example, or on your website, for example, then that can make sense. But when people are just on YouTube, they don't consume video sequentially.
Right. Okay.
If you look at my videos, you haven't watched all my videos in order.
No.
I mean, there's like 6,000 or 7,000 public ones. So it might be scary if you've watched all of those. We have to do a competition, like who's watched them. I want to see your watch history. Who's watched the most videos from the channel? Yeah, first off, like a 2 to 4, Evan Tinsman is already claiming himself to be the winner. A 2 to 4 minute video is never going to do well on YouTube, period. Mm-hmm. But if you're embedding it on your website, if you're putting it as part of your email sequence for people who want to learn about you, that can work. The story bit, again, I would follow the model in Built to Serve. You're trying to teach, but inside your argument is a story that relates to it.
Right.
And you've got all of you have tons of stories that you could share. It's picking the one right story for this piece of content that you're about to talk about. So if I'm going to talk about YouTube, I have a story. If I'm going to talk about belief, I have a different story, right?
Right.
Same thing for me. I have millions of different stories. It's finding the one right story, but you wrap it inside of the theme and the content and giving advice at the end, not just your story and then hoping that they watch your sequence.
Yeah. Yeah, because I like that idea of having a hook at the end of it, just kind of say, bring them in. Okay, so now you've heard me, how can I help you? That kind of thing. I want to be there for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Evan, raised a finger.
Yeah, I was actually just going to share that I just put something out the other day. I don't edit anything. I just talk. But that's what I had a talk with that family yesterday. I had mentioned to you that they're actually flying me to Florida to help with someone, and they're paying me to do it, all expenses, from just a little couple minute that they followed me with my journey. But from that, somebody else had chimed in, and that gave me the topic of the video that I just did a short one today and I posted. So if you share something of whatever your personal story is and pay attention to your comments, people are going to start asking, because I did one on addiction, but then that turned into, hey, Evan, how do you handle like the stress and anxiety? And that's what led me to the one I'm doing now. So people's comments will pretty much tell you what they want to hear.
I love it. And listen, try to keep the videos focused and every piece of content focused. You have a lot of ideas. All of you have lots of ideas, lots of wisdom, lots of things to share. But if you're all over the place with the advice and the focus, if it's about addiction, just keep this one video on addiction. You can make more videos on other things afterwards. If it's about having a powerful morning routine, then that's the video. Just keep it tight and focused, and then people will dive into your world and want to learn more about the other things that you're doing. But I love that. I mean, congrats. That's the power of, like, if Evan didn't just release his video. And Fonda, I know you got a client from just your videos too on Instagram. Like somebody, you DM them
right.
and they hired you, and what, for 6 months I hired you now to coach them?
Yeah, 3 months. 3 months.
3 months. Like, that's amazing. I love it. Like, you guys are getting business by just putting videos up on the internet.
Right.
But, you know, if Evan didn't release that video because he didn't have time to edit it today, maybe he doesn't get that deal where now he's being flown to Florida. Right. So they're not hiring Evan because of his fancy editing. And if you watch his videos, it's great. He's either in his chair there or he's in his car. And those are most of his videos. And he presses record and there's him talking. That's what I want for all of you guys, to just release the burden. Just make sure there's some kind of light on your face, right? I mean, go to the window and have something in front of you. Make sure you're not in the middle of a windstorm or something. Super basic stuff, but you've got everything you need right here on your phone. Press record and go. Because you not producing a video a day might have already cost you 10 clients because you're worried about the editing. And that's not a Fonda thing. That's a everybody here thing. Raymond's done eating. Raymond's done eating. We like it. Welcome there. He's got, Erasmo, you got a question or are you just waving hi? He's got a question. Okay, what do you got?
So Evan, when you say that you want to see us like speaking every day, for us that want to be speakers, like how long do you think the content should be? Or it just doesn't matter? As you go, you get comfortable and it will get longer? Or
I want you to practice 10 minutes plus, 10 minutes plus, 10 minutes plus.
Okay.
If you can go deeper and go longer with it, great. If you follow the template here, it's a little hard to follow the template by heart as you go through it. Yeah, I know you got the book. I know. But at the end, like the thought leadership template, it's hard to remember everything, right? It's hard to remember powerful opinion, context sentence, raise the stakes, tell a story, 3 bits of advice. I'm just nervous to press record in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Right. So at the beginning, just think about getting that hook at the beginning. Like, what's your powerful opinion? And then once you practice that, like if you're doing the 100 video challenge, just once you get that down, then the 3 sentences into a story. And then after the story, then you practice giving your opinion advice. If you follow that template, you'll have a 10-minute plus video easy.
Okay.
There.
Okay.
Daniel's holding up screenshots. I like it.
Okay. Thank you, Evan.
Yeah, 10 minutes plus is because it's great practice for YouTube. But for every video, if you just narrow it down to powerful opinion, story, and advice. If you're like at the very beginning, just think about those 3 things. I'm leading with an opinion. I'm going to share some kind of story, and I'm going to give advice. Right? Okay. So if Evan was going to tell the story about flying to Florida, what's the opinion at the top of that? The Florida story is the story, and then he's going to give advice. You know, opinion, story, advice. And as you get more comfortable with that, then you can work out some of the nuances that we outline in the book.
Okay.
Oh,
thank you.
Got another call, Erasmo. You got another call.
Busy,
all right.
Man.
Raymond, what do you got?
Thank you.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Sorry, I was eating. I didn't eat breakfast. I've been on calls all morning. Something interesting, if you don't mind, if I could share, I just recently learned, and I haven't been doing my YouTube videos. I had to let go of my editor because we didn't see eye to eye and he wasn't in alignment with what I was doing. There's certain things that I learned. Like I asked him to take notes on 3 different occasions and he didn't. And then he did the things wrong. And I said, listen, I've asked you 3 times. I think we're done. I tried to do it in the Oreo cookie where it's like with a comment and then, praise and then, with what's wrong. But anyway, I've been on Upwork and I've been interviewing editors. Okay. Working to build relationships so I could do this, on my podcast. And also one thing I learned, I forgot, I think it was from Jenna Kutcher, that she said, when you do a video, keep sharing, like I've been sharing it on LinkedIn, like every 3 days. And because they say 6% of people actually see your
videos. And so I did this, and I know there's scroll feed and all kinds of things, but I noticed just from doing that, if it's a good, decent video, my second podcast is okay. But I kept doing it, and I just noticed I would get more views and more comments, and people say, dude, cool, wow. Like, engaging in the weird ways that we do, That's it.
What's the main message of your channel, Raymond?
The main message for the podcast is just working with people, inspiring us to become the best versions of ourselves, and learning from setbacks, failures, and gaining feedback.
Okay, great. So here's the thing. When's the last time you posted a video on YouTube?
A couple days ago.
So the whole fallout with your editor was recent then?
Yes. Yeah, well, he did it he edited a week ago, and then I was doing the YouTube stuff, making sure it was aligned, great people, to make sure I had the right information. But yeah, it was recent.
So I would say it sucks, but that's part of business. Honestly, it's probably you probably already knew a little bit about that at the beginning, and you were trying to make it right. But it wasn't a fit.
Bring them up,
So you'll be better on your next hire. It's fine, and you lead with the mission. What's your one word? What's your who?
My who is freedom.
Right. So freedom. You lead your Upwork posting talking about freedom, how you're trying to create freedom for yourself and freedom for the people who watch your content, and how you want to build a mindset of freedom in this company. So somebody who wants to have freedom themselves, that's who you want to bring on. So you're going to start attracting the right people. But you can't let this be a reason for you not to post content.
Right.
So you have to post to YouTube, because if your message is how to bounce back after setbacks, you got to demo it. What are you doing? You're not posting videos. You're in a setback.
Yeah.
The video was, hey guys, it's Raymond. This looks not like my usual video, but I have a setback because somebody on my team left. But I don't want this to define me and not have my videos go up. So if I lost my whole team, I'm making videos, dude.
Mm.
Yeah,
I felt, and I was using this as an excuse, kind of like my message wasn't clear, compelling. I wanted to script it, so I'm hitting on points, but I believe I was letting that get in the way.
And it's not that you can't work on a better script and improving, but not at the expense of videos not going up.
Understand. Thank you.
You got Fonda's got to get his videos up. Does he have an editor? No. So he's going to do it himself, or just no editing, get it up. Videos have to go up. Release the perfection inside.
Yeah, like Evan even said, just do a Canva pic, and then just do a video, and then that's it. And then just keep doing that until, we'll fall into place, I believe. I believe that's what happens. Stumbling blocks turn into stepping stones. But yeah, 100%.
You can always go back later too as you grow and fix all your old thumbnails and titles and everything else. But the thing that will get you where you need to go is you releasing content. So videos have to go up. Everything else is secondary. So if you're giving it, I could do a video every day, or I could do a video every 2 days, but have it with a good title and a good thumbnail and edited video every day.
Okay.
To start training that skill to get better at that thing, especially when your message is how to bounce back after a setback.
Yeah.
You got to demonstrate you doing it. You're in the middle of it. I got a setback right now, guys. And whatever's going through your head of I'm worried that you're not going to like it. I'm worried that it's not edited well. I'm worried that my message isn't concise without somebody cutting for me. But whatever, I'm not going to let this hold me back.
Do you talk about the setbacks or no?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
That's personally.
Yeah.
Dude, did you watch me make videos with my broken neck and giant scab on my face? Every day I made videos with a concussion, not even knowing what I was saying.
Yeah. No, right.
I mean, Evan saw me on that tour where he saw me on the first day where I was fine. And then on the last day where I ended up passing out on the floor afterwards because it's just that insane trip that I was on. But I broke my neck in 2 spots and had a concussion and said I was making videos every day. And I still, even if it was for 5 minutes, would make a video.
Okay.
With a huge scab, giant on my forehead, sitting there in this neck brace, not even to be able to see properly, and oversized Nike pullover because I couldn't fit into this thing, propped up with pillows behind me and ice packs. Dude, but I'm so proud of that. I still keep my neck brace here on my shelf. I'm proud of struggling through it. Is it my best content? Hell no. No, that's not my best content. But like, I did it. And for people who are going through the journey, that's an inspiration as well. The people will see you and say, wow, look, he's doing it too.
Yeah.
Because when somebody loses someone on their team, what are you going to say? You say, oh yeah, I get it. I did the same thing. And I was like, no, so you lose someone on your team, you keep going. Here's what I did.
Yeah. I mean, I did. I moved forward, and then I started putting out LinkedIn intern ads. So I am moving forward. Just sometimes I know it's slower than, but you're right. Video every day.
It's always slower than you want.
Yeah. Like,
It's always slower than you want. Everything is always slow. You want it yesterday. Dude, I want everything yesterday. It's always slower. And you get up and you keep doing something today.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much. I would say that's the best advice you could give us for the week coming up. I mean, if my volume's working, why not? Like, throw it out there and give us something to, I don't know. Just you're right. We have to overcome struggles and pour struggle into what we're doing. And I know that's how it works.
Honestly, the best advice is like to get the content up, whatever that looks like for you. Not everybody has the ambitions to go daily yet. That might sound crazy for some people here, the idea of making daily content. But if you're struggling to make one a week, then one a week, no matter what. You're struggling to make 3 a week, then 3 a week. You're struggling to make daily, then daily, no matter what. Like, even just show yourself for a week. You film yourself there in your living room making content, even though normally you'd be somewhere else with the lighting set up and whatever. Like, just don't give yourself the out of, I'm going to keep tweaking and keep making it perfect. Having a deadline. Like, we keep trying to make our videos better. Intros, music, sources, all of it. Always trying to hack it to make it better. And there's no way that a video is not going up today. So when you start with that as the basis, like, a video has to go up today, period. Or if that's a post, or if it's an email, or whatever that equivalent looks like in your world for everybody here, it has to go up. It has to go up. And then inside, what's my best effort? And maybe your best effort is just you in your room doing it. Maybe your best effort means you can throw a little bit of graphics on it. Maybe you're dead tired and you had a crazy day, but your best effort is you lying in bed saying, guys, I suck. I'm so tired right now, but I had to make a video. Post, right? And that's your video. Like, legit, that is your video, and you post just to get it up and build that muscle. Whoo, guys, thank you for the love. Amazing, super fun. I have to pop. Zan and I are on tonight. If you want to join in at 6 p.m. Eastern on the gaming channel. We'll be back again next week. I love doing this. I love hanging out with you guys. It's fun to see repeat faces and also fun to see some new faces. If you're on next week, bring your questions again. I want to see you get your message out there to the world, because you got goodness in here, but it can't just stay here. It's got to get out there, and we got to overcome our fears and overcome rejection and overcome all of our insecurities to actually get that out there, so we can start actually have an impact on the world. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is really just, who needs help? You raise your hand and I'll come in and try to help. Who's got a question, a scenario, a challenge that could use some perspective on? All right, Denise is in the house. What do we got, Denise?
All right, I'm going to challenge myself with this. Zan challenged me, so I'm going to speak my knees.
I love it. Let's go. This is great.
So I'm at the beginning stages. I actually just started with the Movement Makers in March and have been blogging for a year. Okay. So what I'm trying to do is to gain some momentum in terms of my voice, what I want to share is my mission, and translate that into a video forum. So I've kind of touched a little bit of everything. So I've touched a little bit in the IG world. I've done Reels. I've done a couple of lives with other movement makers. I've touched on TikTok. And now, and it kind of coincides with the conversation earlier this morning, now I'm just trying to figure out my method without burning myself out, because my focus is work-life balance, by the way, without burning myself out and teaching some opposite.
Kind of important.
How do I start folding in all of these different things? You mentioned earlier you have a team of 42. I'm still a solopreneur, with just a team of one. So I'm trying to figure out the best way, in a practical way, being new to creating video. Of being able to translate things out in the way that you suggested, because I'm new to understanding the video world in terms of how to best edit and and what have you. So when I hear take a 10-minute and chop it in, I'm still like, whoa, that still sounds like a lot. Mm-hmm. So, but I don't know if you have any advice with regards to streamlining that process. Maybe I'm making it bigger than what I need it to be.
Yeah, well, let's dive in. And listen, the beginning, it always feels bigger than it is. And it is kind of big because you don't have the skills yet. But as you develop the skills and as you get started, it ends up being a lot easier, just like any other skill. Like when I first learned to snowboard, I fell down 50 times on the way down the hill, and now I can go down without falling down, right? Just like anything else. Let's start with this. What do you want to sell? So you talk about work-life balance. What is our business? What do we sell?
My goal is to coach, but ironically, I want to coach people to be able to coach themselves. So I don't want to necessarily put myself out of business, but I feel like if people really learn their way to internalize their method for being able to live work-life balance, they shouldn't need a coach for their life. They should be able to be the coach for their life. So that's ultimately where I want to get them to. But initially, they may need a coach, and that's what I'm here for. So, and the blog and what have you speaks to that as well. It's another forum to be able to say, how do I get information independently when I'm trying to do things, on my own?
Great. And the coaching, do you see it as being a one-on-one thing? Is it a group coaching? Is it like a 6-week program with you where they learn everything? How are you envisioning it?
Long term, I would like to be able to do courses. That's what I feel like I would enjoy. But I'll be honest, I have come out of, this is new for me. I've been almost 20 years in the HR world. And in that world, I always had someone come into my office and I'm coaching them one-on-one. So I'm very accustomed to doing that. And then also doing like courses. Well, in that form, it would be more training, groups, small groups, new leaders, things of that nature, and helping them as well. And work-life balance always came into those forums. Mm-hmm. So no matter what you came in, whatever the worry on your mind was, that boss that you couldn't stand, too much work on your plate, it always came back to work-life balance. And so I feel like I have a lot of content to lean on in terms of my background in the world that I lived before. And so I'm just trying to translate that into this new mechanism. So coaching was what I was after.
Are you already coaching, or this is a new business that we're trying to create?
It's a new business, because I've always done, my prior world is 9 to 5, right? So it's a new business in terms of having something outside of that forum in order to explore. But it's greenfield. So I'll say that this is my thought coming out the gate. But as I continue to explore and find out new things in terms of the entrepreneur world, I start branching out, and sometimes I got to bring myself back in. So.
No, well, listen, I love it. This is great. And you're great on camera. This is awesome. You haven't even started making, the real videos, and this is great. Yeah. I love it. So I'd look at 2 things, to be honest. The first is actually doing coaching videos. So we're doing it right now. This is a coaching video.
Yeah. Okay.
We just be flipped, where you have people come on, like, so, who doesn't deal with work-life balance issues, at some point in their life, but probably every day, right? So you can help tons of people, and all you have to do is show up. So when I came on here, I'm like, okay, who's got a question, guys? What are we going to talk about? And hopefully you ask me a question that I, can answer, as opposed to, gardening or something. That's what we're going to ask Nina to come in and help answer. So all you have to do is show up, and people are going to say, okay, here's what I'm struggling with, Denise, right? Say, how can I help? And then you help them. And that becomes content. And the reason why they would come on is because hiring you might be expensive, or they don't, know who you are yet. And so they'll do it for free because they're going to get the one-on-one coaching. But the condition is that this is going to live as a video. So then it becomes, okay, how do you find people to be able to do coaching sessions with?
That was immediately going to be my question.
Yeah. And I just did this with an entrepreneur I invested into. Her name is Kira Polson, and she's helping people. She helps pull books out of people. She taught in Movement Makers about a month ago. Were you in that session?
I was. Oh, it was an amazing experience. Oh my goodness.
Cool. Okay.
Blew me away.
So I invested into her company. I'm a 25%, owner of helping her build her publishing company up. And as a part of that, we said, okay, you love doing these sessions with people, make them public. And so now what she's doing is a 5 times a week show on Instagram where she's helping pull books out of people. So if you went on, you'd be like, okay, Denise, like let's tap into your book. And she'd go through her process and your book would flow out of you just like it did for me. And I wrote my book, 40,000 words in 5 days. And a member in Movement Makers today said he just started with her and he wrote his first 800 words this morning before Movement Makers started. And Movement Makers starts at 10:30, at least on the East Coast. And he already got 800 words done today. It's like, let's go. This is working. And so now she has this daily show where she had nothing going on before. Okay. So she gets people from people who are already following her, from doing events and then saying, hey, do you want to come on and join me live? So if you're on Instagram already, how many followers do you have on Instagram right now?
Oh, I'll say 50 plus.
50, perfect. So those are 50 people that you can send a video message to say, hey, I'm starting a new show. You don't need 1,000 people or 100,000 people or 1 million people or whatever. You send a DM, a video DM. I like doing them while I'm outside walking. Have you gotten a video from me at all ever?
I haven't.
No, not yet. Okay. Yeah, what? Yeah. Really? You're Movement Makers and you haven't got a video DM from me?
I haven't. I didn't take it as a
I should have by now. I mean, how long have you been in Movement Makers?
March. I just started March.
And it's July. I'm gonna message my team and see why have I not sent a message to Denise?
No pressure.
Connor. Maybe we're not Are we following you on Instagram?
Maybe it's because it's under my business name. It's under Curvy Points is my
Curvy Points?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I'm gonna look this up.
So I'm anonymous. Maybe that's
I gotta look this up. You're anonymous? Your own account is anonymous?
No, it's not. I mean, it doesn't say Denise, so
Curvy Points.
Uh-huh.
I'm not even following you. Anyway, well, I'm gonna follow you right now. So somewhere in there is a message that got lost. But so you have 55. I'm your 55th. Way to go. Right. And so you've got a lot of people. So you've got, a bunch of Mover Makers already following you. You DM everybody, video message. I like to do why we even got into this. I like to do my video message when I'm outside. So I'm walking in the morning and I'll message people. Okay. And she's saying, I'm starting a new show, coaching people on work-life balance. Yeah. If you'd like to be a guest, it's free. I'm starting Wednesday, noon, Eastern, whatever. Do you want to be a guest on the show? And it's free. I'm going to coach you, whatever you need help with. Yeah. And that's usually the easiest. Now you're already great on camera.
You say that, and I have such camera phobia. I'll take up all day if I start talking about my camera phobia, but thank you.
Well, I mean, I am too before I film, and I've done, 15,000 videos or something. But the key is you just go. And you just did it now. You raised your hand and you just started talking, and it was great. You're eloquent. You put together. She's got a message. It's clear, easy to understand. It's great. So now it's just a matter of pressing record. But it's a lot easier when you're with somebody and you're coaching. So you don't need them to have. You don't need to know in advance what you're going to talk about. It's going to be something on work-life balance. Yeah. But you don't need them to answer 20 questions before they come and go live with you. You just say, "How can I help?" And it's the easiest kind of content to make. And more importantly, it also helps build your coaching business because now I get to see you coach. Yeah. So, Zan's a coach, right? He's the only Built to Serve coach certified, the only Momentum certified coach as well, which is great. Let's go, Zan. And as much as Zan can go and do framework videos, the spell out confidence or the 3 C's of confidence, great. But if you wanted to grow his coaching practice, the best content to make is actually coaching content. Let's see somebody come in who doesn't have confidence. They spend time with Zan and then their eyes get blown open. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that. Thank you, Zan. So same thing for you. Somebody's feeling stressed out, overwhelmed, doesn't know how to handle their work, their career, their home, their husband, their wife, their kids. It's all just insane, overwhelmed. I can't deal. And then they talk to you and they have hope, for not even a strategy. Yes. But even hope that they don't have to stay stuck anymore because you listened to them and you gave them what they needed in that moment. Other people watching then will feel oh, wow, maybe I should work with Denise, or maybe I should be a guest on her show. Right.
And then is the next step to that, and maybe it's just such a basic question, then just having that lead then in the profile, in the bio, just to say, hey, if you also want to enjoy a coaching session, this is how you sign up with me, kind of thing, something so simple? Or is it better to have a little bit more of an enticement of a independent guide and assessment you can do on your own or something like that before kind of taking it direct?
This is a two-step process. Like, you can't let perfect be the enemy of momentum. So there's a perfect way to do it. Perfect, great, but it doesn't mean zero until we get there.
Yeah.
So step number one is just a coaching link. If you want to be coached by me or you want to be a guest on my show, DM me.
Okay.
You can do that today. Easy. Update that. You know how to do that. You don't need some technical person to come in and help you update your Instagram bio, right? So you can put that in. Great. And that's a fantastic start. Does your bio even say that you're a coach?
I'm going to say it says I'm a blogger, probably. Yeah,
it says you're a blogger.
1,000% sure. I'm 1,000% sure that's what it says.
So Curvy Points, blogger. Follow us if you're a busy working woman looking to transform your life and gain clarity, focus, direction, inner peace.
Yeah.
And then there's a link. And where does the link go to? The link goes to your latest blog and just all blog. And then some Spotify playlist. So I just think you're a blogger. Like, I don't know that you're a coach.
Yeah. You'd have to go onto my website and see that I have a service page that has coaching listed.
Which is so
it's
deep.
A lot of steps to get there. I see that now. Instantaneously, I see that.
That's great. Well, hey, we're adding more clarity and focus right now. This is great. Yeah. We're doing it. And that's what coaching does, right? You shine a spotlight on other people and where they need to improve. So same thing here. Like, instead of a blogger, we're a coach. And you help people, whatever it is, help people. If you still want to do busy working women, cool.
Yeah.
Deal with work-life balance issues. Coaching on Instagram and DM me, something like that you put in there. So that we start building our profile up. That's today. That's the next step. That's easy, right? Like, you can do that. That's not overwhelming. The perfect step would be to have some kind of lead magnet that you're capturing email addresses for. So you create a PDF. Do you already have a PDF or a bonus or something people can download?
The only thing I've made thus far, just because it's been more commonly brought to me, is a quick PDF on building up your resume differently. So I do have that already crafted. But that's just because that's usually what, honestly, most people come to me for. It's not so much work-life balance, or they're suffering from a lack of it and feel like the job is the source of it, and then looking to change jobs.
Right.
So most of the coaching clients I have been there, and so therefore I created a PDF really for them that I also could use as a lead magnet. But it doesn't have to necessarily be the one that I use for this form.
Do you have any blog articles? I'm just looking at your IG now. Do you have any blog articles on work-life balance?
So the way that I structured it, I don't have one specifically just on work-life balance alone. I have what I consider to be 3 pillars, right? So one is the fact that self-care as a priority. Secondly is with regards to a dream job is possible. And thirdly, that it's practical to have a work-life balance lifestyle. So self-care, dream job, and balanced lifestyle are the 3 pillars. So all of my articles tend to fall under one of those pillars. And so they're different subjects, but they all lead back to work-life balance.
Your articles are no joke. Like, you're writing.
Yeah, right.
No, but like,
I've been hiding in the veil of writing and not speaking.
Well, but sometimes a blog, like, you do 200 words and you have a blog post. Like, you're legit. Like, that's great. So here's the easy thing to do. If you have your 3 pillars, cool. You take some of your existing blog articles and smush them together into a guide.
Oh, okay.
So the one I clicked on was how to feel your soul in life. How to feel your soul in life and at work. So I don't know if that's a recent one or just the one I clicked on.
Yeah,
cool.
It's fairly recent.
So that's like one. So if you had your 7 steps or your 8 tips or your 3 ways to achieve work-life balance, this becomes one of them. So this is how step number 1, feel your soul in life and at work.
Mm-hmm.
And then you bring that article in. And then you picked 2 to 7 more from stuff you've already written.
Yeah.
And that's your guide.
Okay. Okay.
So now you've got like, that's an ebook almost. You've got a, 30-page book there. And you don't have to then sit down and write it from scratch.
So
right?
because it's a lead magnet, I'll say a freebie. Because I always suffer with most of my content everywhere I put it is brand new. Like you see something on my IG page, you're never going to see it duplicated twice, and it won't be duplicated anywhere. And that sounds great, but it's slightly it's messing up my work-life balance.
And it's just not, and like candidly, it's not smart because like the ability to repurpose the content is a huge lever point. You have zero leverage in your business because everything has to be hand done from scratch.
Yes.
Where your best quotes from your blog articles should become IG pictures and tweets.
Okay.
You're like, for sure. Yeah. You repurposing, because even people who have, first off, you might be concerned like, oh, but people may have read it already.
Right.
But okay. One, like most people don't read all your stuff, right? You haven't seen all my videos. Most people don't watch all my videos. We're not that important, right? Like people, how many blogs do people subscribe to? Tons. And second, just because they've read it doesn't mean they still don't need the message.
Yeah.
So you're saying somebody's going to read this article. Everybody's going to read this article you wrote on lighting up your life. They're going to read it once and then that's it. Their life is going to be lit up and they never need another reminder ever again. Right. I mean, we're laughing at it, but that's basically the mindset we're adopting. Whereas no, people need that reminder, even if they have heard it before, which most people won't because we're trying to bring in new people. But even on the off chance that they have seen it before, the thing Zen has up behind him, I've talked about that like 8 times in Movement Makers, and it's still valuable and it's still a reminder. And it's every time, like there's still one more thing that you have to remember.
I'm so glad that you're saying what you're saying, because again, only being in the group for a few months, I'll be honest, even the last session, you may not like to hear this, but the last session, I was like, I don't think I can go because if I take in one more idea, I'm going to explode. I don't know. How do I put into practice all this data I'm getting? And I think to your point, it's because I'm not necessarily utilizing what I have in an efficient way in order to make it practical, the things that I'm learning each session. So I had to take a break. Like after, I think Kira was the last one, and you did one in between. I'm like, you just need a mental health day. Go in. There's only so much movement this maker can make.
I mean, I appreciate the honesty and I appreciate you showing up here and raising your hand and asking the question. Because, a lot of people, when they're struggling, do feel overwhelmed and do quit and give up, where the answer is just build a little bit of momentum.
Yeah.
So in any training, whether it's mine or anybody else's, it's like take one piece and just do something on it. Like if you help somebody with a work-life balance and you create an entire beautiful life for them, the path to get there feels overwhelming and daunting and impossible. And
true.
Maybe the next step is, okay, like just take 20 minutes a day to breathe. Yeah. Or just go have that one conversation with your husband, or just like put up a little bit of a defense at work. Or just like it's amazing to think about the life they could build, but we're stuck in the how, and it's just so overwhelming that then they do nothing.
Yes.
And so the most important thing is just the momentum to build up. That's why we're doing the momentum challenge coming up, because it's most people are stuck. Even achievers is where you're stuck. So the coaching series ideally leads to a lead magnet. Making a lead magnet is easy because you already have all the content. You just got to package it together. And then that's where, once you have your email address, you can do a lot more. That's where you can promote your coaching. That's where if you need more guests for your show, that's where if you have, like when I have my momentum challenge coming up, we're going to email people who've watched my videos, who've downloaded my lead magnets so that they know about the challenge that's coming up. Yeah. If we go from Instagram video or coaching session right to DM me, it's almost like you're getting married on the first date, right? Which will happen. Like some people will just do it because they need it, they love it, they're ready. But most people don't want to take that big a step at the beginning. They're like, oh, Denise, okay, I like her vibe. Who is she? Oh, she's got this free thing. Okay, let me go check that out before I'm going to commit to coming on. Even if you think about you showing up here, you're in Movement Makers. you've been here since March. So we're like months in now.
Yeah.
You've seen my stuff and know me, but if Zan didn't push you, would you have raised your hand that quickly?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
not. Right? So one, yay for Zan. Let's collect people, and it's great to be around people who push you to want to be better. But now imagine people watching your stuff. There's that resistance to DMing you, where they might have to watch a few of your episodes first. They're like, oh, I don't know, should I DM her or not? I'm struggling, but I don't know. Just hemming and hawing, right?
Yeah.
And so the way to shortcut that is, instead of having them to have to DM you, they get the free PDF bonus. But then you can build the relationship through email, send them valuable video, send them content, build the know, like, trust. Like, Denise is the woman for me. She can help me. Okay, now I'll come on her show. So that's the ideal that we're building towards, is some kind of lead magnet capture. But today we update our bio and say,
yep, that's it.
DM me. Yeah. And then for the content, I would mix in both coaching. Even what I said today in Movement Makers, you have one IG live per week. So ideally, you're doing like a coaching session at least once. Some of the Movement Makers go live every day, which works too. But again, let's not overwhelm ourselves and stress out. But one IG live coaching per week, and then one video per week of you sharing some of your methodology, some of the things you've learned. Even if you don't cut it up and put it to the other platforms yet, even if you just post it on YouTube, because the first ones, it took me 2 days to make one video at the beginning. Now, I didn't have a mentor. I overthought everything. I was in my suit and, had to memorize everything. And but it'll become faster as you put in more repetition, just like anything else.
Yeah.
So it may feel impossible to make 10 videos in a day right now, but you'll be able to get there.
Yeah.
And it won't take as much time, right? Like 10 videos might take you 10 days to make right now. So it feels like there's no way I can overcome that hurdle. But so don't stress about it, because as you get better at it and you figure out the skill sets, and you got your family supporting you, and we're here to cheer you on and give you love, community, and like post to Movement Makers, then it'll become a lot faster. So as a starting point, just book a guest for your show, reach out, send the video DMs, update your Instagram bio.
Yeah.
And even that, like, it's momentum. And that feels like a big step. And listen, that's a huge step. That's a huge step, and worth high-fiving yourself or like patting yourself on the back. You took that huge step. It's amazing. And after that huge step is, once you get used to that, it's like, okay, I'm ready for my next step.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I made that also too big in my mind, because I had seen someone some time ago who didn't coach. Well, I guess there was coaching. They had open forum questions. People coming in, and I'm thinking, how in the world do you do that? How do you get people to come in? And they did theirs slightly different. It was almost like a phone-in session, but they still did it, via IG. And I was just so confused, like, how in the world? I don't know enough to know how to get that opportunity. But I feel like, as you've already mentioned, if anybody came and just had anything on their heart with regards to work-life balance, even if they didn't see it as that was the issue they had, but I have complete confidence in myself that I'd be able to identify and say, hey, and let's talk through this. And let me show you what I see. Let me listen first and foremost. But then as I'm listening, let me give you a different view on it. And I just was so anxious to find that forum, because again, working in an HR office, people just come to you. I didn't have to do that. It just came. They came in and asked for a form. And somehow we were having an hour-long conversation about their life. So to be able to translate that into an IG forum, I'm like, I don't know how to do it, but I just so desperately feel like it would be worthwhile to do.
And it will get to the point where people will just come.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, you even me, when I started my IG live show, I booked the first 5 guests. I messaged them personally and said, hey, I'm starting a new show. Do you want to be a guest on my show?
Yeah.
Coaching, helping on whatever problem you have around entrepreneurship, something I can answer for you. Great. I'm not coming in talking about hair care products. Right. So, something I can help with. And then if you continue on it, it'll become its own thing where people will want to come on. But you book the first guests and you say, I'll be on tomorrow at noon. Come join me. And even if it's just the two of you and like nobody's watching yet, cool. Like you're still helping that one person and it's still valuable and it still gives you content that you can use for years. Yeah. And it's a human, like you're still going to add value. You're going to pour into this other human who's struggling with something right now and they're going to get value from it. And it'll still feel good because now it's like, I helped somebody today.
Yeah. It's just the whole point. The whole point.
Let's go, Denise. If you want to get a copy of Built to Serve and join us live for our next training with me to ask your questions, you can go get the book right there next to me, right there. I'll see you there. I'll see you to get the book. It's a good one. Much love.